Hello peeps, Hillbilly Halfwit. Hear some sheep in the background, look. Right, this is about Paul Thorpe and June Slater. I do watch them. I got to be honest, I did think Paul Thorpe was going too far the one way a while back, but he's done a video lately and I commend him for it. Where he said the only way to deal with this situation we're all in is at the ballot box. And even though you might not agree with or even like Nigel Farage, the leader, if you vote for him, you'll get 80% of what you want. And I totally understand all the arguments out there against it all and the things that are going on. But he's correct. He's been trying to do something, get people together, and he's being classed as far right, all sorts of stuff. And he's having the security services against him, his bank account stopped, all kinds of stuff stopped at the border with all the time. And he actually said on his latest video he'd been stopped more time in the last 12 months than in the past 65 years of his life. Now that's wrong. He isn't a guy that's doing any harm to anybody. He's just saying what a lot of people think in a way that we all think it should be said. But because he says things like that and gets attached to another person who I won't mention, he's like enemy number one. Now, June Slater, on the other hand, is a bit like me. She's more realistic about this. And she talks about some of the things that I do. And she realises that the only way to get what we want, 80% of what we want, we can get by voting for reform. And I totally understand people who think, oh no, I don't like Farage. I totally get that. But if you vote for any other party, you're going to get Labour back in. And that will mean that not even 10% of what we want is going to get out in there. Now, if you vote reform, even if your nose like that, which I won't be, I like Nigel. I think he gets 80% of everything that I'm after is in him, in his party. And of course there's some problems. And with Rupert Lowe and things like that, don't get me wrong, but that's just people who fall out in everyday life. One person wants to be the leader, the other person wants to be the leader. We've seen it all in work. We've seen it everywhere. Sometimes you've just got to deal with it, and then people are never, ever going to get on again, even if they were friends one time. And it's sad, but you've just got to move on. You can't destroy the cause and the thing that can help you by just because one person's fell out with somebody else. Now, as June Slater says, Farage has got most of the policies we want. He's a genuine guy. I really do think he's genuine, because I think he dropped out of that last election to let Boris carry on, because he realised that if his party carried on, they'd take the votes off Boris and they wouldn't be able to get what they wanted through. And that was a mistake now thinking about it, because these people in charge of the Conservative Party decided immediately they were going to remove Boris and they were going to go back on everything that they thought, because they're part of the establishment. He made a mistake back then. I totally admit it. I was mad at the time. But you've got to learn from your mistakes. And he realises this time to keep well away from them people. Keep well away from the Conservatives. But not their voters, because the voters are like me. And you out there. Originally, Conservatism was just the freedom of the individual. Just let you get on with life as best you can. Be pretty good with the books and on the country. When people want help, give them help. But also, when they've been too long on the job hunt, help them out to get a job. Because I know myself being poorer. I'm poor now, but I was poorer when I was younger. The only way out of poverty is to get a job, and you get your self-respect and you get a wage coming in, and you actually meet loads of new friends in that work. And sadly, in universities these days, they're teaching you that work is all bad, when it isn't. You meet a lot of your friends that you're going to be friends with throughout your life. And you've always got your pocket full of money. I wish I was the same now. When I was younger, years ago, working at all these hard jobs, I always had cash in my pocket. Now, people, younger generation, have been taught that work is bad. You only need X amount of money. Now, when I started work in various things, I went to a factory, which was good money, and then I went to the forestry, which was £20 a day, and really hard graft. And at the time, I wasn't very amused about the low money. But then, after just a circumstance that happened where some of the lads all jacked because one of the relatives fell out, I ended up in charge. I didn't want to be, but all of a sudden my money went boom, like that. And these things happen in life. If people trust you to do the right thing, if you go to work for somebody for low wages and they can see you're a tidy person and you're a hard worker and you always do your best and you're trustworthy, you'll get on. Because, you know, you will never be able to work because the people pass these things on. I got a niece now, as a really hard worker. She's starting to get this reputation where she's reliable and a really hard worker, and they don't need to go looking for work because the people want them to work for them. I think it's brilliant, brilliant. So, but this was about Paul Thorpe and June Slater and that. June Slater's doing a cracking job turning people over who are going too much the one way. See, people need to realise, I did a video like this a while back when I was swearing too much. People need to realise to get what you want, you need to get the majority of the people to vote for you. And once you get in there, you can do something. But until you get in there, it's a waste of time. So you've got to appeal to people who don't usually vote for you, on the left and the what's called centre-right. So Farage seems to be doing that. And like I said, lots of people think you can go chucking immigrants out like instantly, and we all know that's impossible to happen while the human rights law is there, because the lawyers, that is their job. Civil service, they work entirely all day, all night, 24 hours a day to stop this happening. So the only way to deal with this is to try and change that when you're in power. So I appeal to everybody just to think about your common sense. Now, even Paul Thorpe has, and I totally get where he's coming from, because his life has totally changed and they are attacking him like he's a criminal or a murderer. The guy is only doing a version of what I'm doing, and you know, he is speaking for a lot of people there. Some people are mad about it, some people aren't, some people are moderate. But if you're living in some of these places that the country is changing so fast, look, like in the East End, there's no more white East Enders. When I was younger, some of my relatives live up there. We used to go up there, and the Cockney language is fantastic, and they're all funny. You know, the sort of Danny Dyer sort of persons who are good laugh to be around. They're non-existent now. They've gone. Been pushed out of our own country. Everybody I know hates going to London now because it's not what it used to be. We all used to go, eyes wide open, oh man, look at this place. Now, you can't walk about anywhere after 8 o'clock for all the gangs, and we know the gangs of what. So, I appeal to everybody, just vote for the guy. Give reform a chance. If they go into power and they don't do it, you can change that next time with your vote. But give them a chance. I genuinely think the people, especially the councillors now, the younger councillors that they're picking, they're having to pick the councillors so carefully. They can't even pick a councillor who's used the word "see" or any other swear words. Like me, I'd be no good, because the media would instantly go at them and then they get them removed from the election. So that's why they got to be so crystal clear with it all. They're better than the other parties, but they have to be, because they're being attacked by people in the media because they know what's coming. Reform have got a real chance of getting in Wales, and afterwards a real chance of getting in the UK. And this can do similar to what Trump has happened in the USA. It can give us hope. Give the people of all colours, really, in the UK some hope of we can get a little bit of our country back to how it used to be. Really nice place to be. And we weren't, even though with Thatcher and all these other people in power years ago when I was younger, I didn't realise how good it was compared to now. because you had your individual freedoms, you could go where you wanted in your car. You weren't gated out of London by these posh stars or whatever. So I haven't said this before, but I congratulate Paul Thorpe for realising the vote is the only way to do anything, because they ignore all our protests. I've seen it with the farm-in thing. The vote is the only way. So well done, Paul. I hope you're well. You look after yourself. And I'll say to anybody else, nobody knows what it's like in a person like his shoes, because the whole of the government is attacking people like that. And they may have said something wrong on the heat of the moment. Everybody does it. I do it myself. But you're all automatically tagged as a person who you're not. And you're really a pretty decent person. So, and June Slater, well done. I got to say congratulations to her for turning a lot of minds around, because she's done a good job there. Please subscribe. All the best. Gaz.